guys, this is Bumblebee85 coming at you again with another video. Now this video has to do with my Transformers tag challenge that M from Transformers and Video Games has put upon me, and it's a 15 question Transformer get to know you type video. So I'm going to answer these questions that originally came from, I believe it came from Nathan Simmons, and Nathan Simmons started this challenge, this tag challenge, where you answer 15 questions and you move it on, and you challenge a couple other people, other YouTubers to answer these questions. So it has finally got its way to me, and so I'm going to answer these questions, and hopefully whoever I tag at the end of my video can also answer these questions, and then we can keep this moving and getting to know the Transformers community on YouTube a little better, a little closer. This is the way I have to film it if I want me in it talking. My mic is on my camera, so I have it set up in front of me, and there's actually a mirror. I'm filming into a mirror, bouncing it back so that you get my reflection of some shelves behind me. I do have to invest in some sort of camera microphone type thing, but this is what you got. So we're going to start off with question number one. Right away it says, what is your favorite Transformer toy in your collection? Now I'm going to also have some show and tell with this, but this here, G1 Metroplex, is my favorite toy in my collection. This isn't the original one that I had. I did get one for Christmas as a young lad, and I was forever hooked on Metroplex. I just liked all the different play features that he had, and all the different little robots that he came with, and all the guns that he came with, and just the playability that he had. So G1 Metroplex, and I was made sure I got the one with the rubber tires. I just really have a huge crush. I think I'm going to say that a few times in this video, but I have a huge crush on Metroplex, and that's my pick for my favorite Transformer. Question 2. What is your most expensive Transformer? Originally I was getting all the Masterpieces. You can see some up here. Now I had Masterpiece Star Saber, and like I said, I was just getting them all when they were coming out, and then I realized, I'm like, Masterpiece Star Saber doesn't fit in my collection anywhere, so it was pointless for me to have them, and last year I actually sold them at TFCon for well under what I paid for them, and to getting anything shipped into Canada, yeah, it's just too expensive. So I haven't been doing it as much. I've fallen a little bit behind, so I am waiting for TFCon to come again this year, and I'll probably grab a Masterpiece or two while I'm there. Just to, mentally, it takes away from the shipping costs, even though they've put it in the price. But Masterpiece Star Saber is probably the most I've spent on a toy at any one given time. Question 3. How many Transformers do you own? I am going to put a challenge out to you guys and watch this small clip here, and you try and count and let me know how many I have, because there's just way too many. I pretty much own nearly every Transformer that has come out since the beginning of Beast Wars, and so it's a large number, and there's many repaints, and it's just impossible for me to count. So I will let you guys try and count for me. Question 4. What is the worst Transformer that you own? The worst Transformers that I own, I'm going to give to the Power Core Combiners. I just didn't like them as Transformers. There was a core bot which sometimes seemed to be okay, that would transform into the main body and an alt and a robot mode all on its own. But then there were 4 drones that would attach to it, forming legs and arms. And really, the arm was meant to be an arm and a leg was meant to be a leg. And sometimes when you put the pieces on, gravity actually transformed the Transformer so like a foot would fall down, or a thumb would pop out and it'd be just dangling there. So like there was not much playability with the toy once you got it combined. It basically just stood there and you couldn't do anything really with it. So this specific Power Core Combiner isn't the worst, but there are worse ones than this. And this is the Dinobot Combiner prior to the one we're getting with Power of the Primes. So Hasbro, no then, and Hasbro, no now. Do not make combiners of figures that aren't supposed to be combiners. So Power Core Combiners gets my vote for the worst Transformer. Question 5, it's kind of a two-parter here. What is the best and worst place to find Transformers? Now, I guess the best place for us Canadians is to find Transformers at Toys R Us. They actually will have sales, buy one get one half off, buy one get one. They actually have sales, whereas Walmart in Canada, we rarely get anything marked down, so there's a lot of price matching going on. So I would say Toys R Us is the best, and I will hardly buy anything online due to the fact of shipping to Canada. I just don't like it. I get nailed with duties and customs all the time at the border, so I just don't have a good experience with that. So I try not to ship anything to Canada. So I really try to find the brick and mortar stores. And with us Canadians still having Toys R Us, it is the best place for us probably to find Transformers. The worst place to find Transformers, if there is such a thing, we don't really have anything outside. We don't have those discount stores, a lot of those discount stores that like Ollie's and all that, those kind of stores that the Americans have, where we can't just go and, like, we have Winners. It's a bargain type store where you can find some deals, but again, they don't carry a lot, so it's just whatever doesn't sell at another store gets shipped there, and then you're lucky if any of the same Winners get the same items. So you're really hunting from store to store to try to find a deal or find them at all. So the worst place probably would be a thrift store. You're not going to get a complete Transformer or anything there, or of good quality. I hate to say it worse because we just don't really have a lot of choices to go to, other than even our local comic shops, or they don't carry Transformers as much. Question 6, what Transformer figure do you want the most? Figures that I want the most, like I said, I kind of stopped collecting MPs, but there is MP36 Megatron. I need to get that into my collection to go on the bad guy shelf. We don't really have many of the bad guys. I'm also missing Shockwave, but I really need the Megatron. MP Dinobot is coming to go with the Beast Wars. You can't see them, they're behind the camera here. But MP Dinobot, and a holy grail of mine that I would want the most is G1 Omega Supreme. I don't own that. I've always loved the motorized feature that it has on the track. I have a secret crush again on Omega Supreme. His attitude and his bluntness is something that I've always liked. So G1 Omega Supreme, even a reissue, I've been unable to get one at a reasonable price for what I'm looking for, but those are my list there. Question 7, what Transformer figure do you want to see made? This was kind of a hard one. Everybody's making something, and if it's not made right now, it'll be made shortly. I'm trying to think outside the box, and I went looking at some of my Lego, and I was like, Lego has this Lego Ideas where somebody can make a design using Lego, send it in, and if it gets enough votes, Lego will look at it and decide to try and actually make an actual Lego model of it. So they'll contact the licensees and get the ball rolling and see if they can actually do. They've done it with like the Big Bang Theory, the Ghostbusters sets, the Back to the Future sets. These are all like Lego idea sets that somebody else had put out there, and then were made into actual Lego sets. So that's what I was thinking, that we could have some actually like licensed vehicles as some Transformers. So we would have the DeLorean, we would have KITT, we would have the Mr. T van, we would have Ecto-1, the Ghostbuster car, and the Mystery Machine, and some licensed things that could be official Transformers. We've had like official car licenses, so why can't we get some official actual companies and licenses to make some cool looking Transformers? I know there's that DeLorean Transformer shirt that transformed or showed a transformed DeLorean. So I think some of those could be a cool possible idea, and I wouldn't mind paying a few extra dollars for some licenses like that. So that's my idea, I guess. Question 8, what is the first Transformer that you bought? Okay, now I'm going to break this down into 2 parts. The question should be like the first Transformer figure that you got. So I'm going to show off my G1 wheelie. That was my first, this isn't the original, but it is the first Transformer figure that I got for Christmas one year. So he always will have a soft spot in my heart as being the first Transformer figure that I got. That's what I feel like the question should be, kind of like that. But the actual answer to the question, the first figure that I bought with my own money, and it's a little late to the game, was Transmetal Tarantulas. He was the very first figure that I bought with my own money. I wasn't very privileged growing up as a kid, so I did have a few Transformers growing up, but they were like the little ones. I never had an Optimus Prime. I never had anything that would have been a few dollars more than the basic figure there. So this was the first figure that I had bought, and it was actually the very first trip that I ever gone to a Toys R Us ever in my life, and this is what I came away with. And this is that figure. So he sits on my shelf, and I just liked this figure. I liked the color, and I liked the character, so this is the first Transformer figure that I had ever bought with my own money. Question 9. Do you prefer official or third-party Transformers? I prefer official. I don't buy many third-party Transformers. I originally got into Fans Project when they first came out with the armor for Ultra Magnus, the City Commander armor, and then I also was still with Fans Project, and I got the armor for Hot Rod to turn him into Rodimus Prime, which I thought was really cool. It was a really neat idea. They weren't really doing anything that Hasbro was going to do. They were doing something new. They were upgrading an existing figure, so I kind of liked that. They weren't just making their own or ripping off the license completely. So I was really into Fans Project. Then they fell behind in actually making anything, and then there was a whole debacle with TFCon and getting their exclusive to TFCon just to release it later on the website as no longer convention exclusive, so they got in a real pickle there. They lost some traction with the fan base there, so I kind of just stopped with Fans Project and I stopped with third party altogether. So I definitely prefer official over third party. Question 10. What are your thoughts on knockoffs? I have a bag of knockoffs. These all came from like the dollar store, and when I was first buying Transformers, I didn't really know that it was such a bad idea to find these at the dollar store. So like I have like almost a complete Superion. Well, I have a complete Superion, just broken. It's really fragile, garbage type stuff. Found a complete parts for a Devastator in multiple colors: yellow, green, different colors altogether. Even some of this weird stuff here. It's like a truck. I think it was a ripoff of the Mickey Mouse Optimus Prime type Transformer thing. Found that. These are all, it's just a bag of stuff that I don't care for anymore, and it's impossible to get rid of. So basically this stuff is just for the recycling bin pretty much. But I first thought it was cool finding Transformers for $1, and then realized that they're not going to be close to any good quality. So I no longer care about knockoffs or buying that dollar store Transformer. Did, however, pick up this Mech Fans Toys Slagus and a few of the other Dinobots, the other two that they have released already, Swooper and the Bludge of the group. So I'm liking these. They're a little bit bigger than the current Power of the Primes Dinobots, so I like these. They look a little more G1 to me, so I'm liking these. And these were purchased that Boston Shots made me do, because they just recently showed these guys off in their current Boston Shots episode. So check them out too. Question 11. Who is your favorite Transformers character? Now this is again hard for me. I want to say that most of you might think it's Bumblebee, with my name being Bumblebee85, but it's not. It's G1 Wheelie, surprisingly. Wheelie is my favorite. I know it's so weird and strange for anyone to say that, but because he was my first Transformer ever, I want to say that he is my favorite character. He's unique. Check out his TF Wiki page. Whoever did that whole page or added to that page is hilarious. You definitely have to check that TF Wiki out for G1 Wheelie, or for Wheelie in general. It's very entertaining, and it will put a smile on your face even if you don't like Wheelie. I think that he's like a loner, and he survived on his own. He's stronger than you think he is. He's smarter than you think he is, and a lot of people give him a lot of flack, but I will always defend Wheelie, so don't. Question 12. What is your favorite Transformers series? I've adjusted the camera so that you guys can see these two Masterpiece, Cheetor and Optimus Primal. These guys, this Beast Wars show, it got me back into Transformers. As I said before, Transmetal Tarantulas was my first Transformer that I bought on my own. So I was hooked on the show. I was hooked on the character development. I was hooked on the series in a whole, how it incorporated G1 in with it at the end there. So I really think the storytelling was great for Beast Wars. And when I was first watching Beast Wars, I didn't even realize it was Transformers. I knew what a Transformer was, but I didn't realize that it was Transformers. So I think that the Beast Wars is my favorite series altogether. Obviously, I'll always have a soft spot for G1 because it was there first, but I think Beast Wars really captured my imagination, and we've been recently watching it through Transformers and Beer, the podcast with Em and Joe, and going through the episodes and rewatching these and thinking, I remember exactly where I was when I was first watching all of these episodes growing up. So it's huge nostalgia for me, and I thank them for going on that journey and taking a look at Beast Wars again. It just makes me love it even more. So Beast Wars is my favorite. Question 13. Do you prefer Hasbro or Takara? Hasbro. Like I said, I try not to ship anything in. Duties, taxes, fees, and all that crap just get in the way. Besides Masterpiece, I really don't get anything Takara. So I like going into the store, being able to find what I want, and I have it. So Hasbro, and there's not much difference now between the Hasbro and the Takara stuff anyway. So you shouldn't have to worry about this import fees. So Hasbro. Question 14. Do you love or hate the Transformers movies? Now, I originally set out to love them. I truly did. Now it's growing into more of a love-hate relationship where I thank them for bringing Transformers into like the mainstream, where it's like okay to talk about Transformers or collect Transformers and type thing. They definitely revitalized the franchise, so I thank them that way. It's kind of hard. There's a lot of hit or miss with the toys. We get some really good ones and then we get some really crappy ones. And then the design, a lot of people didn't like that. I didn't hate it at first. I wish they could have, everybody wishes they could have stuck a little more to G1, but they just want to tell a different story, and it just led into this, and it just kept evolving after time, where I think the later Transformers movies, you could barely even tell that they were Transformers anymore. And some like it. It's great and good for them. I've just grown a little bit tired of the movies themselves. With this Bumblebee movie, I'm almost glad it's the end. You know, like this might be it. And then we can maybe evolve into what we all originally liked in the first place. This stuff up here. I will admit that we are getting some cool Masterpiece Transformers. Like, love them or hate them, some of these designs are really cool looking. To have this actually transform into a truck and back, like, it's amazing. Some of the designs. He may not look like your G1 Prime, but he sounds like him, and that's all somebody might need. Having the movies, I think it only benefited us. They made millions, and some of that millions went into these toys. So I really like having toys in general. So if we get a good representation of something that was on screen, I'm happy. So that's my take on the movies. Question 15. Do you think Hot Rod got Optimus Prime killed in the 1986 Transformers animated movie? I'd like to say guns don't kill Transformers. Transformers killed Transformers. So he definitely had a role in it. Prime would have still died. And it's not that Hot Rod got him killed. It's that he failed to prevent Prime's death, which was inevitable anyway, in order to sell the toys. And selling toys, it can be a harsh mistress. So they already had the plan that Prime was dying. They tried to make it as heroic as possible, but I don't think they realized how impactful that would have been on us as fans, because these kind of questions are still getting asked over 30 years later. So it's definitely impactful, and I guess they've done their job. So in a way, Hot Rod did have a hand in killing Prime, but it wasn't purposely done. And Hot Rod apologized, and Prime accepted the apology. So we all have to move on. We all have to move on past this. But that's all the questions. And I'd like to thank Em again for tagging me in this challenge. And now it's up to me to tag some other people that I have not seen do this tag challenge yet. So I have 4 names. Some I'm not familiar with, but I do follow. So I'd like to try and get their take on these questions. So John Garinger, Nick's Toy Barn, Deluxe Baldwin. I don't think he's done it yet. And Nerd Out. I think a couple people have requested Nerd Out do these questions. Again, I think a few people have requested Deluxe Baldwin. So hopefully they're filming these as we speak. And hopefully you guys have made it to the end of this video and have enjoyed my answers. I hope you guys all got to know me a little bit better. This is Bumblebee85 saying please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And always enjoy the play. And I've been holding that fart in